Hello everyone, Jane Galena here, also known as Airplane Jane, and in today's video I'm going to talk to you about the top 5 things you should really do or research before you get into investment properties, especially if they are not in your home city that you are living in. But before we do that, make sure that you please like this video, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so that you will receive the notification when I upload some amazing videos like this with some great content to it. So I used to be in real estate before I got into aviation and trading, everything like that. Back in 2007, 2008, I was a real estate agent as well as a mortgage loan officer. So number one, before you get into buying anything or you find this dream house that you're thinking for either your personal primary home or secondary home or investment home, is make sure that you talk to either a bank or a mortgage broker or loan officer so they can give you that price range for you to look at. You never want to end up finding that dream property and you can't afford it. There's nothing worse. And you don't want to be overextended as well. Right now, interest rates are really low, amazing time to potentially invest. However, there's also the moratorium with evictions and foreclosures. So it might be in your best interest to start doing research, right? So that comes to number 2. Make sure that you are researching the market that you are looking to buy. I know I'm starting to really track the prices in San Diego, Las Vegas, and Orlando. Those are the 3 places that I would like to buy investment properties. However, you guys know from my previous video about investing in real estate in 2021 that I'm waiting right now. Right now, there's not a lot of foreclosures and it's basic supply and demand. As there are more houses on the market, the prices drop, whether those are foreclosures or people that are just looking to sell. So I am starting to do my research now for next September, October for potential investments. And looking at that, you want to track. This is what I'm doing personally. You could do something different if you want. But I'm starting to track like a heat map on the real estate sites. How many listings are there and how many foreclosures are there? As the prices, again, as the number of homes start to increase, the prices should be decreasing. This will make it easier to invest at a lower price. So remember, start tracking that. Number 1, find out what you can spend. Number 2, track and see. Number 3, research the rental prices for the market that you are going to be going into. There's nothing worse than getting into investment property and the rent that you are allowed to charge is not going to be sufficient to cover your mortgage. Yes, it's great to have a renter pay your mortgage, in essence building equity for you because they're paying down the mortgage. However, you need to ensure that you are able to charge that rent, which brings me to number 4. Make sure that if you are going into a real estate investment property, you have looked into the laws of being a landlord and what rights you have as a landlord and what rights the renters have. Because if you don't know that, you might end up in a scenario that many real estate investors are in right now where the renters don't have to pay rent and yet the landlords still owe that mortgage. So you want to make sure you have the buffer zone, right? The buffer zone would be those extra months of mortgage payment that you have put aside so that you don't have to go into a short sale on your investment home. That's why I think there's going to be a lot of investment homes that go into foreclosure because people are not able to pay the mortgage on their primary home and their investment home that the renters were paying the rent for them. So this could be an amazing opportunity like back in 2008, back in the 1980s, where you're able to invest in these properties. Final thing, if you are looking to get into investment properties, so number 5, if you are looking to invest in properties outside of your current home city, also look at the rental management costs. What are these companies charging? How much extra are they going to charge you? Is it in your best interest to get into an investment property in that city? Because if it's not going to be something that's economically sound, why would you do it, right? So as much as there's all these real estate investment gurus out there, do this, you're gonna leverage your money and you're gonna be able to make money, you have to look at the downsides too. You have to look at the risk of it to say, okay, number 1, how much can I spend comfortably, right? Number 2, what are the costs of these homes? Am I going to be able to really buy what I would like to buy? Number 3, is that rent going to cover it? Number 4, what about the local laws, right? And number 5, that additional surcharge from the rental management company, is that going to end up putting you over the top where it ends up being a negative every month instead of a positive? No matter what, you're holding on to that property and it is building equity. However, you don't want to be underwater when you're starting off. You want to have some extra cash on the side in case of a scenario like COVID where your renter is not paying their rent and you still have that mortgage due. So I hope you guys like my 5 tips to getting into a rental property. Hopefully it'll really help you coming in the next year of 2021 if you are looking to get into real estate investment. As always, if you all have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments below, or you guys can email me at jane@cjanetrade.com.